Remeilemme hot nämnässä problem hot kitsit min kettyyn jälvet med angolu sokkalioppa turok peselni de has kihiva sokas nem anira rostörtere takkuoras kis risiko de den bai meklajuk hot mit törtän de les angolullis elek sokat kitsit rolla makarok meselni Körpel huus ei tapastalatomman, asa tanaripajan, mitä ikaskato heettes tanar, körpel tis kylempösö sakmait tanitottam, el sjötöl glenserik, is töp maganiskolaava, meg töp austriapais tanultam amerikaisok, minne holi jaartamet kitsit, is most miröllä so, nem foko köszönöm szépen, az a együttműködés, az a legjobb. Az a finn oktatási rendszer, de inkább az a magán tapasztalamat. Joo, akkor egy rövid rész angolul. In Jyväskylä, you can find in the center a stairs which are called the stairs of knowledge. Tudors leedraad vad leetsyt. Otvan rendes majarba. Valaki akaria tanulnia uin jelvetakkor fijelnikel. So it really started to frustrate me that we have so much information about studying, about learning, which leads to better well-being or which leads us to the wrong decisions. And as we know, every decision has consequences. And in the end of the day, we are pretty much responsible what kind of choices we have made. So we have a lot of knowledge, and what I have been researching, I felt that I don't need no more research results to prove what should be included in the school life or how we can improve our well-being. And the key question is the change. How can we make the change with the information? And this is always, I think, the most difficult part. We will see now most magnesium in ostajbol et heteselöt näin röviden käsitettämät kis videoklippet, asa matek uuraabol, meik asa fin uuraavat olvas uurarool, is lähetot utana sokkerdes, les de maitturung töppet peselket niissä. Is en ostaim iännesik mostalaapan. Esa matek uraa. Joo, kerdes lehet ottaa kitsit ööryltä tanarde as chakitsit. Is olvas ura. És itt nagyon fontos ezt az nem én osztályom, az a miénk, mert az a gyerekek tudtak innoválni, kreatívaan, hogy hogyan kényelmesen tudják csinálni. És például mindenki tud globálisan, gyerekek nem akarják többet olvasni a könyveket. Ez nagyon nagy probléma, az a kognitív szempontból is, és nem tudják koncentrálni és többi. És egyszerűen, ha mondom, melyik a fontosabb, ha sorba passzívan lesznek, és nem nagyon akarják csinálni semmit, vagy találják kicsit kényelmes helyzet, és akarnak olvasni, lesz motiváció. Ez a rész, most kicsit gyorsabban megyünk, mert inkább kis információ, és utána tudok mutatni több példát. So these are one of the main things, or the cornerstones of a learning. So I won't be reading all what you see on the screen, but I think the motivation and the passion, not only for the teacher, but I mean not only for the students, but for the teachers, that if you have the motivation, this is the benzene, this is the fuel, what ignites you. And if only me as a teacher try to push with the stick that do this, do that, don't do this, there will not be a change. And the main idea is that the kids start to lead their own learning. They start to think, not just getting inputs. We know that there is so much distractions, so much inputs coming all the time. They don't feel comfortable being by themselves if they are not listening to music or doing something with the phone. And if you see the other side, it will kill the creativity, it will passivate the kids. There is, as we heard in the previous keynote speakers, jó kérdések lenne, honnan jöttünk, hol vagyunk most, hova megyünk, vagy hogyan megyünk, miért megyünk. Több gyerekeknek nincs cél. Mit akarnak? Almost 20 years ago, the World Health Organization, I think, has understood, maybe even much earlier, what are the key points and important contributors in the schooling as well. We have to meet this emotional, social, and in the school environment. Just shortly with the PISA, it's true that Finnish PISA results are quite famous, but in my opinion, the work has been done almost 50 years ago. And we just, not just to pick the fruits in the 20th century, but I think that the focus, like it's written here, we did not aim to the top, but we taught children to study and be human. Today, måste laban, csak emberek mondják, hogy ez a új normál. És nekem van kérdés, hogy mi az új normál? Sok mindenkinek, akivel beszélgettem vele, az a káosz. Az normális nem jelenti, az 20 év ezelőtt normál más jelentés volt. Maybe as a PISA hysteria, it can be a bit harsh way to put it, but often happens that when it comes to the curriculum and new ideas, we try to make new revolution or big changes too fast. And if we hear one good idea or something, we jump from this side to that side and we forget the balance. And for example, I know that in Hungary, you added testnevelésóra, this sport classes, 1 hour a day. And my question, not accusing Hungarians rather than any other countries, but my question is that the kids spend certain, I think in Hungary, 170 some days in the school, but what happens after the school, on the weekends? And I have been monitoring that, and the same happens in Finland. The most activities, the most social life happens in school. And this is why I think the school, the teachers, and the time they spend, that's one of the most valuable moments in children's lives nowadays. Unfortunately, I think. In my childhood, I have born in the 70s, that I was looking for the weekends, we can do things and that, and I felt that school is passivating me. I did a lot of sports. And nowadays, when I have been monitoring almost 10 years, the kids' lifestyle, most active, more social lives happens in schools. And it's huge decrease what's happening in their lives when they get out of the school building. When we come back to the topic, that what are one of the cornerstones, the last sentence, children's mirror their dignity through achievements. In my opinion, if teachers or adults can somehow show empathy, somehow can show the respect and how they value the children, not by how they have achieved, what kind of school scores they have earned, or how fast they run or something, that if we could pass this sense first, that I like you as you are, I love you as you are, and you don't need to change. Now I'm not talking about stupid behavior, as maasdolog, but as a person that we should value no matter which backgrounds, how they study, fast, slow, they need more support or not. That if this is one of the key in my opinion. I could speak the whole day, but I have 20 more minutes, so I go quite fast, and we can talk later on, or you can go back to the slides as I mentioned earlier. Often, I never really liked this word equality in the schools, because then you are treating the children as a group, almost as a robots, not seeing them individually. It doesn't help here to give the same support for the children. We need to see them individually and help them individually. And if we can come to this stage, often we treat what is seen. If I explain like an ice scraper, not ice scraper, as an iceberg, we see only the 10%, and the causes, what are causing the actions, behaviors are built in unseen areas, and this has been my research areas now, to see deeper, to understand and show empathy, for example. Just shortly, World Health Organization is stating mental health is a state of well-being, the goal of well-being, where one can see his or her own abilities. And this is what I referred before, that they eventually could lead their own life. One of the famous educator, Kari Uusikylä, I think he's putting very simply, normaalis minden napi eilet hatalmas serentse as ember samara. And if we can give an explanation what is behind that, I think that would push us quite much further. There was some new great people I got to chat a little bit before, and I was just explaining that, like now, even in my area, they are building beautiful, beautiful kindergarten schools, and when they are describing them, there is nothing, they are not describing the heart, which is the people who are working with the children. What kind of atmosphere, and like, not joking, but kind of I was saying that when people enter to the Tanito or they learn to be a teachers, the first questions would be, will you love all the children you have? Will you treat them equally, or will you be fair? Will you be interest of their life? Because I think even these are so-called soft values, but these values, according to my experience, value the most. Going further, but this consistency, this that kids know what will happen when they come to the school. They know there is some trusted people and the environment is safe. There are clear rules. They can expect what happens. And as I mentioned earlier, these relationships, these kapcsolatokat, they mean so much. Me and Christoph Venvesi, we had the privilege to visit one schools in Budapest, and two students walked me around the school, and I asked them that why did you choose this specific school? They had fantastic playgrounds, but they both said at the same time, we have a great relationship with the teachers. They are not too demanding. They like to have a dialogue. We can question about everything. They felt ownership, that we are part of the community. We are not like a slaves and somebody from above is saying how things should be, so we can question things. And I think this they hit exactly the right point. This I was addressing earlier, how unique, how can we support, put more value to understand the uniqueness of each child. This is 7 years ago from the Australian government, the Institute of the Health and Welfare. So what I say here at the same time, Finland is famous for education, but as I won the prize and had the privilege to go to Dubai and meet these fantastic people all around the world, I saw in the Philippines, in Sumatra, in Africa, there are hundreds of teachers, hundreds of schools who do much better. So I represent in the way Finnish system. I have met with hundreds fantastic Hungarian teachers. I have visited excellent schools, and I think this is not the key thing, that you have the right curriculum. When the newest Hungarian curriculum was written, I think it was 2012, and I have written it. I have made a summary about it. I think that's the most beautiful curriculum in the whole world. But in my opinion, you just don't have, unfortunately, resources to follow that. It's beautiful. It's much nicer than ours. One of my main projects has been that the information about the child is so fragmented. The child is the only one who knows what is really happening in 24/7 in their life. And these different sectors, there is no communication. And I started to develop a system that which people should know at the same time and the same information about the child to support. The red, the social media and internet, it doesn't mean that the red is referring to something negative, but I just wanted to show here that it's really influencing basically all areas in their life. And this healthcare and sleep, there is not too much involved with the phone, but I think that if, let's say that even the, what I want to say is the kids, when they go to home and family, and in Finland, I think it's nowadays less than 30 minutes what the children spend time with their parents. And this is global challenge that kids, they always need a support. They always need to spend as much as time. You cannot give enough or too much care for your child. So from the child, there is little information at their friends' parents, and their hobbies, the coaches, and so on and so on. But the information is very fragmented. And as it's written here in Hungarian, aser pesele kojan sokat ajol lidröl, mert olyan nagyon erősen kapcsolódik a tanuláshoz. I have had students, I'm not a doctor, but I have students that they don't need to use anymore some medicine for ADHD, for example, because we could bring the balance back to their lives, normal life rhythm. This is only one example. I refer this very shortly. We have 10 minutes. That is the first long study how screen time affects to the children. And as we see, this was measured in 10 years, 11,000 children from United States. And as this line is addressing that, the first findings from the study shows as little as 2 hours of screen time can be detrimental. Att anulmaan else mikä läpi taas as mutat jag hot min se ket uran keper nö elyt töltöt idö is kaaros lähet. And I mentioned this balance already. And the results are really, really, really alerting, thinking of what kind of generation is rising up. Now we change for the service or my pedagogy or philosophy, how I have tried to help the children, not only in Finland, we have tried that now in some other countries as well. And just to answer, where will you be tomorrow? I have had school principal and they tell me that Jukka, miva junka jövö iskola. The ed dolgavan, mitkäl tenni jövö iskola ei kosarpa. Jövö kosarp, jövö iskola. Nem tudjak mitkäl tenni, mia fontos. Mi pöl lähet kiesiteni jövö iskola. Is Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. He puts in a very, very nice way, the future will depend more on our ability to use our human qualities. What are the human qualities? And focus on that. If we have all the technical, we have all the best coders, but if our life is not in balance, I think that's quite vesaish. You can get back to these slides later on, but this is not the worldwide research, but this is more like my provoking statement that we don't have too many schools that they really create the future in a sense how the kids would benefit. We have lots of schools which will put effort for the technology and so on. As I mentioned here, that the learning happens when you see the unseen in every child, and this has been one of my target to try to see a bit deeper. Kicsit mélyebben akarok látni, hogy milyen mögötte és tudok jobban megérteni, hogy az a viselkedés és honnan jön. This or the concentration, which I meant It's a huge problem. More and more people are overweight, and the overall health is declining, obesity increasing, breakfast little of all, and actually what I speak are quite basic things how human body works. We need nutrition, we need good quality food in certain rhythms that our blood, just a short example, I was asked to do some observation in the school, and then afterwards they asked a feedback. And my feedback was very positive. I only said that, please give some food for the children. 8 hours, what did I see? Energy drinks, Coke, chocolates, cacao, pizzas, chica. Vertsukor. Is követ så urara hojan tudna konsertalni. Alltså chock etsery dolog minden nem annira etsery as ertäm de altalapan envelemenem turunk mek oldani chock minden is honnan kestedika probleema de vanoja sosiaaliset vad sylöprobleema vad ehesmi as pistossa punjurut lenne de ennivalo esnek rendesen alutnak sportolnak valamenniret sokat jelenti. Here are some of the benefits why the school should lead the well-being, not just only to improve the learning results. For me, has been even more important results that nekem perik jobb eredmény volt, nem csak hogy jobban tudják tanulni, ez jobb számokat kapják, de sokkal nagyobb van a motiváció. Akarják jönni iskolába, nem akarják visszamenni haza. Az osztály, amit látjuk előtte, nem egyedül építettem. Gyerekek mondják, hogy mikor mész következik. Hétvégén, szombaton, mikor mész, mi is akarok jönni. Vad ott dolgozok. Minden nap majdnem egy pár órát, és gyerekek ott etszenek, csinálják a házi feladatokat, mit akarnak. Ott éreznek jól magunkat. És az a lényeg, hogy ez a belda nem jelenti, hogy ezt az hogyan kell csinálni. Ez a gyerek ötleteket. Ez az a miénk összes út volt. Most 3 évig, most elmennek tovább. És lehet, hogy táncolunk, vagy rajzolunk, vagy csak festünk minden, és szerintem a fontos, hogy a gyerekek benne van. Itt a kicsit több. We spoke about the meaning of the kapcsolatokat, munkaa, tanulmányokat, szabadidő. So I have developed a service, a monitor, and it's a 6-week program, and I'm monitoring the subjective monitoring. It quickly means that they every day answer the overall feeling and about the eating and some relationship if they want to. And there will be a program which will show and help to start to lead better their own well-being and learning processes. And then there is an objective, it's a little URA, which will collect all kind of data. And this has been help a lot to children to change their lifestyle, because sometimes többször gondolkoztam, hogy az a családia felelősek ezt azt, de van olyan sok nehéz helyzeteket, és szülők nem tudják annyira sokat segíteni. És ha most én, mint a tanár tudok iskolába, és ott a biztonságos helyen együtt másik gyerekekkel, és láttam, hogy nagyon rövid idő alatt sokat jó pozitív dolgokat lehet váltani. Yeah, there is first a little questionnaire, subjective monitoring, objective, as I mentioned, and from the technology point of view, it shows that I'm collecting background information there's a subjective objective, and the know now means that you know exactly the information at this point, which means, okay, there is some change. I actually, a year ago, I showed the same slide. That was the average score for the children when they came, and these are the each test's average scores. And after the whole year, there was 1.3 grade the difference in the academic records. Now I can see when the children come to my class, I can see what time each day, what time Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Pentek, Sompat, Vasarnap, Heitföket, Stöppi. I see what time they went to sleep. Keika sielen tihota munkanap, Zölda sielen tihota Heitvegi, vad ojan ynnepinap, asa Elsjö, Majus, Elsei. What time they went to bed, what time they woke up, and then I see all the averages and so on and so on. So when the kids come to school, I immediately, in a few seconds, I see aki rempenvan vad aki nem, aki nek aludnikelet kistöppet. Esa jerek as elek harmonisan folk meni aludni, ei shokkali jobban tut fijelni peldaulu. Es mutjat ja as aktivitaas hanuuraat, hampertset, mienerössen, keekas, könjuaktivitaas, nehesep, as najonerösaktivitaas, hetente. Esasa elem, as mutat ja hot, minne rentsipentsi, is turok kitsi pontosappanees, niin hoithaa kevees volta alvaas, vad es atja nekem najon jorsan ödletek hot hojan turok joppan sekeiteni, hojan turok kitsit meijeppen laatni, mutat ni empatiaat, akkur ertäm hotte najon faarat vai es nemte hipaa. As one girl, this was how her activity life looks like, and she made her own goals. Set magan tselot teset, and this was the change after the program. Ennen montamot mitkält sinali, magan tolalta, akor magan jotta motivaatio, ees mostis. Töp hona mulva akaria asa ien eilet stiluspa jarni. This is the problem today. Too much information, too shock informatio. Ästkället, a balance. Aktivitaas asna jo. Te musai tunni hod musai stoppolli hod unatkosik. Töp hei voltam kaptamme mekhivas jere ideis hojan aktivaalun jerekek. Mindenki aktivaal. Ievana ka jerekek nemkel ojan sokat aktivaalni te hojan tutja koncentraali holla balans. Mit törteenit hot monjukot ötpertsik senkinen monja semmit. Nemtolaalun kojan ostajot. Ei nemtolalta meik. Aktiivit ostajot tolalta. Näin on seipän kässä nämä fitelmyket. Tovaappi seipnapot mindenkinek.